Hey, is it just me? Are snowboarding rotations just getting crazier and crazier? This whole spin to win attitude. Well, let's talk about that and more. Axis Media TV. This is all about competition side of snowboarding, whether it's comps, whether it's stories, whether it's results. Me, myself, Brad J. I'm going to break it down for you as I do travel to most of these World Cups, and I'll be out there in Milano for the Olympics too. So let's get into it. Snowboard rotations, are they getting crazier? Yes, they are getting crazier. That's becoming such a problemo right now. I mean, and you may say to yourself, or may say to me, Brad J, why is it a problemo? Doesn't seem like it's a problemo to me, man. People are just doing what they want to do. But if you look at the purest side of snowboarding, which a lot of people like to do, which, I'm just kind of putting both sides out there. Even bigger spins ahead. Snowboard Field I 1980s, 2160s, 2340s for Milano Cortina 2026. Snowboarding big air and slopestyle tricks continue to progress at a staggering pace ahead of Milano Cortina, and with some athletes now spinning incredible 2340s. And I don't think it's a bunch. Is it just? I'm pretty sure it's Hiroto Ogiwara is the one who's landed the 2340. I got to think that that's going to be him when they talk about it. But yeah, is this the future? Is this what snowboarding is now all about? Is it? Well, that guy right there, he's the man. Hiroto Ogiwara, 20 years old from Japan, and this kid can shred, and he's landed the ultimate double cheeseburger of them all, a 2340. A 2340. Do the math on that. That's not being done every day. We thought that during the Beijing Olympics that, maybe that wasn't such a big deal, right? But other guys are doing things too. This guy, Eli Bouchard, well, I guess you wouldn't say it that way because he's an Italian. It's a Eli. So Eli Bouchard, 1980s. He's been spinning those. He's looking good there. He's also got a 2160. So, and you could say what you want as far as, man, I do not like the whole spin thing. Where does it go from here? All these guys continue to do is just spin more and more and more. And it's like the next 180, the next 360. When does it stop? When does it become more about style? And you'll hear that from a lot of purists on that. I mean, look, I've made a living of announcing competitive snowboarding, and I tell you what, I enjoy wherever it's going, and it's bringing us along for the ride. Is it the right way? I don't know. I mean, is it more spins, but it's more chances to win? Is that the way it's going to be playing out? I mean, you got to wonder at some point because the spins continue to be the main thing in snowboarding. And people try to say the judges do not score on the spins. They do indeed score on the spins. Yes, it's a package deal. Yes, it's execution. Yes, it's difficulty. But the judges do score on spins. It's a fact, Jack. Trust me on that one. All right, let's keep the story flowing here. There he is. There's Ian right there. Like I said, he's got it. He has the 2160. A lot of guys are going to be seeing that are going to be gunning for that too as well. How about Su Yiming? Can we talk about him? Or you're supposed to do their last name first, which everybody always tells me. So Yiming Su. Nope, Su Yiming to me. And you know what he did in Beijing. And he's a guy that had all the 1800s spun in pretty much all, 4 directions he was able to do this. So all different ways. So you look at that, and then now you go 4 years later and you add it to 2340. Shut the front door. All right. Where does it stop? The madness continues. All right. And the schedule is pretty much set right now. There's the schedule for all the World Cups coming up. And start things off in 30 days. Secret Garden getting underway. That's a big air event. Then you got another big air event. That's going to be Beijing right after that in December. Secret Garden, that'll be for half pipe. That'll be the 3rd World Cup. And then you will see another big air. So this is when it goes stateside. I'll be at this one. Steamboat Springs, Colorado, December 11th to the 13th. I'll be doing some live shows from there. That is going to be the first U.S. big air qualifier, and that's going to be a big one too as well. Then it's off to Copper. That's going to be half pipe after that, Calgary, and then wrap things up in Aspen right before the Olympic Games with Locks, of course, right after that. Actually, officially, Locks being the one to wrap things up. So that's how it's looking. I don't know how you feel about it. I mean, it's how do you change it? How do you change guys and say, everybody stop spinning these huge spins? Stop going past 1,800. How do you do that? Because people aren't going to stop. There's going to be a young kid who's going to come up and he's going to go, you know what? I think I can huck my meat to a 23-something, 2340. I didn't even know the number because we don't even call that. So, but that is where it's at. And is there a way to change it now? I don't think there is. I just don't think there's a way to change it because that's where the judging has gone. That's where competitive snowboarding has gone. And it doesn't have to be that way in other, like if it's not an Olympic qualifier and World Cup and whatnot, you can go by your own rules. You can be X Games and be X Games. You could have a 5 run. You could be Snow League like Shaun White's event, and that's not an Olympic qualifier. And it's a different format. There's a last chance qualifier for 4 guys to get in, so you always have another chance. And it's head-to-head format. That's not what they do for World Cup. That's not what they do for the Olympics. So, and being, you know, I'm not saying that World Cup and the Olympics that's the one you got to pay attention. No, I'm not saying that. But it is an Olympic year, and that's what a lot of these guys and girls are trying to do is they're trying to make that Olympic team for their, you know, prospective countries and go from there. And that's what they're trying to do. So, I applaud them for that. All right. Big news, of course. You got to know what's coming up. 30 days. 30 days in the hole. No, 30 days until the Secret Garden competition will get underway in China is where that's happening. And that's the first one, man. That's the big air. That's a chance. So will we see it? I guess that's my question. Will we see if Hiroto is ready to go and he's healthy and feeling like he wants to get dizzy? Is that what we're going to see? Will we see Ogiwara land that 2340 in that one? But see, here's one thing you got to remember when it comes down to this, okay? You got to remember this. Like, qualifying is a whole different thing. You can do the single spin. I think that is the World Cup format. But when it comes to competition, it comes to finals, you have to be able to spin 2 opposite ways. So it could be front side, it can be backside, it could be cab spin, it could be switch backside. It can be those 4 spins, but any one of those 4, but they got to be 2 different ones because they bring the scores together. So if you're a one trick, you know, chump and you're just throwing down the single trick and that's what you have, well, that's not going to get you into the finals, right? And not going to get you to compete for the meat and potatoes. And if that's what you're trying to do, you got to have 2 different spun ways. And that's the format. So that's how it is. So it forces guys and girls to make sure that they have 2 solid different type spins to be able to bring in. So it's one thing if you could go out, let's say you can spin the 2340, but you have nothing else besides that. Not saying Hiroto doesn't because he has plenty in the bag, but if you don't, and that's all you have, sure, that will get you to the finals. It'll get you through qualifying, but it won't get you where you want to be. And that's going to be on the top of the podium, right? That's where you want to be. That's where you're going to want. That's what you're gunning for. So Snowboard Park and Pipe, the season opens in 30 days at the Secret Garden Big Air World Cup, and that is such a sick venue that they have put together right there. Hey, that's going to do it for this one right here. Access Media TV, Snowboard, always breaking down the competitions for you. I'm Brad J. Subscribe and like. Do your part, and we'll continue the operation. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the hill.